Okay, y'all, I gotta give Zeus their tens. For the first time, part one of the reunion, we actually got on stage within the first 20 minutes. So they give us this long season recap that we did not need, and then we start to see everybody arriving in their cars. Tasiki looked good, Meatball looked like a wrestler with a beat face. Mariah Lynn came with this black dress on, but she didn't even wear that on stage. So it's like, what was the point? We barely saw your outfit, babe. ET looked like Dora if she wore all blue. She had this bob and like this polo tee and that tennis skirt. Like it gave Dora, but in blue. Crip Dora. And Bianca pulled up with this ski mask on. Like, let's get to it, child. Natalie backstage with Bobby talking about she gonna grab Tommy face like Tinkerbella did to Meatball and say, "You need to apologize to my daughter. You need to apologize to my husband. You're never gonna disrespect me again." You know damn well you ain't gonna do that. You grab Tommy face, she might bite your fucking hand off. So Anna talking about she got beef with Nunu and Jelly Bean, and obviously Tasiki's gonna eat up Diamond. Mariah and Biggie don't really look like they calling out no fades, but Mariah should already know it's up between her and Bianca for sure. Then we see Wenda Lee, J.O., and Heaven. And I'm just like, y'all bitches really want y'all 15 minutes of fame. Y'all low-key didn't even need to come to the reunion because y'all didn't do nothing. At least Kiva and Nunu had some fights with some main cast members and like some altercations to discuss. Same thing with Slim and Dia. I mean, J.O. had the situation with Meatball, so maybe she could be here. But like Heaven and Wenda Lee, what did y'all do? But Heaven was just like, oh, they fucked up because everybody was online saying I should have stayed, which I did see a lot of people saying they wanted her to stay. Like I said, to me, she just wasn't my cup of tea. She gave me knockoff Stunner Girl. So I wasn't that impressed by her like y'all, where I felt like I needed her to stay. So then we get into the room with Callie, Gretch, Kiva, and Nunu. Y'all all looked a mess except for Nunu. Nunu is mad pretty. Even though she get on everybody's nerves, like Nunu is really pretty. And she looked good. Like she was dressed well. Callie, Gretch, Kiva, a mess. So then we see the room with Natalie, Scotty, Rolly, Sapphire, and Asian Doll. And they basically said that they feel like them five are the biggest names. I don't know about Sapphire. And I don't even know about Asian Doll when we just talking about with baddies. But she feels like they might be the top targets because they're the bigger names and people who want a viral moment are going to try them. Okay, so Bobby welcomes the live audience. Like I said, that's exciting. We'll see how they contribute to the show. It should make it feel more like BGC and Love and Hip Hop though, because their reunions always have live audiences, so it should help. And then Janisha comes out. Janisha looks beautiful as always, but we know she's not going to give anything as far as a host, so I'm glad they do have somebody messy coming out with her like Saucy. So they introduced Natalie. They were like, yeah, the executive producer on the project. Natalie came out, and then Janisha was like, and our next baddie is Scotty. And when Scotty came out, she was like, don't forget with the body. Don't forget with the body. I said, yeah, she forgot to say with the body because she don't fuck with you. You done took her man, girl. Mariah, Jayla, and Sapphire came out. Sapphire had on this real elegant dress, something that she definitely didn't come to fight in, but she looked really good. But I don't think she really has no beef except for the Bianca situation, which should be done. Like I said, Mariah changed her outfit. So she came with that black dress on, but then she came on stage with a gray sweatsuit on. So it was like, girl, what was the point of that dress? Biggie and Tasiki came out. Tasiki came out looking like a boxer. Now, Biggie always looks a mess to me, low key, but I will give her her tens. This is like my favorite reunion look for her because she actually looked feminine and like pretty. To me, she usually comes kind of masculine and mannish to the reunions, and I don't like that. So then Callie and Meatball came out. So now we get into the questions. By the way, Callie with this purple wig and orange dress, you look a mess. So Sapphire basically addressed Callie and was like, she did feel like when Callie first came in, she was looking for camera time with the whole trying to take Natalie's spot stuff. But then later on, she ended up apologizing and she did that on camera as well. So she respected that. I do kind of agree to an extent because it's like Callie just kept having random places in the season to insert herself in drama, but she never really had like a consistent storyline. So it did kind of just come off like she was looking for moments, like the situation with her and Natalie, the situation with her and Jayla, the situation with her and Gretchen. So Santana came off top asking the questions that needed to be asked. He asked Jayla, why did you have such a problem with Gretchen saying nigga, but none of y'all checked Mariah Lynn about saying it, and she used to say it all the time on Love and Hip Hop. So Jayla was like, I'm not going to fight you because we're better than that, but I do think you need to learn from this moment. You're not black. It doesn't matter if your little sister is black or your nephew's black. It's not okay and you shouldn't be saying it. And Mariah was like, absolutely. Do I think Mariah is still going to say it behind closed doors? For sure, but she'll probably be more careful about saying it on social media and in public. So they was like, they had one more person to bring out. They brought Bianca out and the audience started booing. She was the first and only person so far that I've heard the audience boo when they came out. And when she walked behind Meatball, Meatball kept looking behind. Like, so Bianca had to check her temperature, and Meatball was like, I'm just checking to make sure you're not on nothing. Because I guess they did have a little bit of tension in the house, but not really. So Bianca basically revealed that Mariah had been asking her to come on the show since Baddies East because she didn't want to be by herself, and that she never told her that her and Sapphire was cool the first day of Caribbean. So when Bianca came in, she thinking her and Mariah got beef with Sapphire, and she said she had text messages to prove it. Sapphire stepped in front of Mariah because she seen the text messages, and she was like, you did send her a text message, and everything between me and you was supposed to be done last season. So they got the text messages on the screen, and Sapphire was like, why would you say you don't know if me and you gonna get into it if me and you squashed everything at the end of the season, went to the reunion, and everything was cool? And Sapphire was like, yeah, the same way those text messages came out about you talking about Tasiki. And Mariah was like, oh, those was fake text messages, this, that, and the third. So she stood up, and Bianca snuck her from the side. Immediately beats Mariah up, like to the point that she's leaking already. Now Mariah running backstage embarrassed, don't want the cameras in her face, telling Zeus they stupid, they let Bianca sneak her, how dare they won't get another season out of her. Girl, they clearly wasn't bringing you back from Midwest anyway. Nobody wanted you back. Like, you was never a star, like Anna said, not even on Love and Hip Hop. Nobody gives a fuck if you're here or not. Bianca threw Mariah's wig into the audience, but I think the production got it back for her. Yeah, so they got her wig back. Now Bobby and Scotty are sitting here playing with her wig. Bobby has it on, doing the type of shit Raven be doing on Jocelyn's Cabaret. So Mariah just walking around bloody leaking. So Bianca sees her and she's like, that's why you leaking, you stupid B. Stay right there. ET going to F you up next. I'm like, oh my gosh. Mariah, you should probably go home. Mariah says she was leaving, but from what I've heard, she ends up going to the hospital, and then she's going to come back on part 2 or 3 and have like some shades on covering her eyes. So Santana asked Biggie why did she grab Bianca goggles and swing on her. She said, I didn't swing on her. Me and Meatball was talking, and we both said the goggles was fire. Biggie, please, you know what you was doing. You had just finished arguing with her, and she had told you to get out her face right before that. So even if you thought her goggles was fire, who are you to grab them off her head if she don't even fucking like you? But anyway, Bianca was saying how the only reason her and Mariah always get back cool is because Cardi and Remy are their mutual friends, which it always was like that, even on Love and Hip Hop. And I don't really understand what Cardi and Remy see in Mariah. She can't rap, she look a mess, and she's fake. And Bianca said she was never scared that day. It was just who's going to put themselves in a position where 7 girls, 10 girls could run down on them, fight them back to back, because that's what it would have been. Sapphire would have fought her, Mariah would have fought her, Asian Doll would have fought her. Like, no. Bianca said she would come back for another season. I honestly think we'll probably see Bianca and Mariah get invited back for the same season, 1 or 2 seasons from now. Kind of how they're bringing Tommy and Akbar together, and we haven't seen them together since the conversation. As far as the little conversation between Callie and Natalie, it was a waste of time. Natalie and Scotty was trying to say they didn't say nothing about Callie the first episode. When they did, like, they was all like, oh, Blueface sister, she said she coming for your spot. And they all did low-key have an attitude with her when she came in the room. But Callie basically just ended up giving in and apologizing for the whole thing. Like I said, throughout the season, she backtracked on everything that she really had to say about Natalie. She probably still feels that way, but she don't really speak on it like she was at first. Then Biggie finally admits that she really should have been mad at Natalie instead of Jayla, because so many people had said she lost that fight at the last reunion, but she was mad that Jayla said it when Jayla only said it because Natalie had asked her it on live. And Biggie was kind of like, well, I'm not going to come for Natalie. She's my boss at the end of the day. You might not get along with your boss, but you don't come for them. Exactly. You scared to step up to Natalie or check Natalie because you want to keep coming back on Baddies every season, and you want to be in the private jet group. So you displaced all that anger that really should have went to Natalie and put it on Jayla, and then ended up getting beat up, punched in your face, and crying about it. So what was the point? So Natalie did do some real bullshit for once and take some accountability and basically say that she shouldn't have been on live being messy and reading the comments and asking Jayla who won the fight. Like, it was unprofessional and it probably did make Biggie feel away. So Jayla is like, basically, I'm right. You wanted to pick an argument with me when you really knew that Natalie was wrong, and I was just saying something that the whole internet was saying. And you must have thought that I was somebody that you could pick with. You must have thought that I was somebody you could pick with. And when Biggie had first hit Jayla at the dinner and everybody was like, oh, she did her big one, the way she ran up, that was cool. But what Biggie didn't realize is she's not built for the everyday drama. She's not built for a girl to have beef with her every day back to back. Biggie wants to fight and be done with it because she don't like to beef with girls. Jayla's from the Bad Girls Club. She'll beef with you for 3 months straight and live in the same house with you. And y'all could just go at it every day. And she's cool with that. So it's like, Biggie, you picked the wrong person. Okay, guys, so this is part 2 of my episode 1 Baddies Caribbean reunion review / recap, because a couple minutes of my first part disappeared last night. So Tasiki interjected and was just telling Biggie, like, it really wasn't that deep for you to get mad at Jayla about, because mad people said you lost that fight. Even Tasiki herself was yelling at Biggie at the reunion, like, keep your head up, Biggie. What the hell are you doing? Because you was losing the fight. Like you clearly already had some type of issue with Jayla, and you felt the way towards Natalie, but didn't want to say it to Natalie, so you took it out on Jayla. Like Tasiki said, y'all should have never fought. And Jayla was like, bottom line, do you want to run it again? Yes or no? Yes or no? They kept holding their mics like this. Yes or no? Yes or no? The audience is like, fight, fight, fight. Biggie said Bobby pulled that out his ass being messy. And then even Santana said, like, would you really want to fight Biggie again after she was crying? Like, Biggie be trying to act so tough, like, we forgot about you crying. And you cry every season, like, about fighting a girl. And like Santana said, Biggie messy ass, she don't want to keep fighting Jayla, but she kept jumping at everybody else fights throughout the season. So Natalie was like, oh, I'll tell you who we want to fight. We want to fight Teddy. And Biggie starts talking about, oh, Teddy is my bear that I do my YouTube podcast with, and Teddy has his own thoughts. No, Teddy is an inanimate object, a stuffed animal that you hide behind and you put on as a mask for yourself to say shit that you don't want to say as Biggie, because you're a pussy ass bitch. And then can't even own up to it, still trying to say that this fake ass object has its own thoughts. Like, girl, it's your alter ego, if anything, but that's still your thoughts. So when Jayla approached Biggie about it, she was like, oh, me and you already talked about this, about the stuff I be saying on my podcast, so I don't feel like we need to talk about it here. No, Jayla said, own your shit. Why you want to talk about it off camera, but you don't want to talk about it on camera? On camera, you only want to play victim and act like you don't be doing nothing. So Scotty walked across the stage and started like whispering in Biggie's ear. I guess she was trying to be the peacemaker. And then Santana was like, oh, Scotty, go back to the other side of the stage. You always trying to peacemake. And she was like, who told you that in your ear? Now, I don't know if she meant like production saying something to Santana in his ear, or if she meant like Janisha sitting right next to Santana. And Jayla told Biggie, oh, you went online and said me and Natalie was old boring bitches, but look at me and look at you. I'm running circles around you. I'm about to be 35, Biggie in her 20s, and we already know the difference in their bodies. Like, so yeah, she ate Biggie up. So then Janisha is like, okay, it's time for us to bring our special guest to the stage, Tommy. Before Tommy even gets out, she's backstage punching Bobby 4 or 5 times, telling him to stop playing with her. You think I'm some type of class act and you gonna play with me like some pony and dog show? What does that mean? So Saucy, Santana, and Janisha are hearing everything going backstage. They like, can y'all bring Tommy out already? Like, what is going on back there? Natalie turns to Scotty, Jayla, and Sapphire, and she's like, oh, be quiet when she comes out. Let me handle this myself. So Tommy came out, and first she just interacts with the crowd, and she's like, oh, y'all ever had a fake friend? One thing about me, it's never going to get fake. It's never going to get phony. Then she went up and gave Santana and Janisha a hug, and then she was like, what's up, Nat? And they both stood up looking at each other. And then they hugged each other like 3 times. And they was like, you know, we got a whole bunch of money together. It's not that deep. I'm glad they squashed it because I'm tired of seeing Natalie and Tommy fight. I think we done seen it enough, and like enough seasons in a row, like enough years in a row. It's been dragged out. They done milked it to where there's nothing left, in my opinion. Tommy was like, we got a lot of money together. We got a lot of shit to address. Shit got real fake. Highlight on the fake. But it ain't no real beef if nobody gonna crash out and be ended. Which is true, because like basically the shit that happened with her and Stunner Girl on Baddies West, that was like real beef. Remember, it was shooting and stuff going on. This bullshit with her and Natalie is like, it's dragged out and it's really not real. They talked about when Tommy came in on her horse and Natalie admitted it was epic. So now Saucy Santana announces that Slim Too Bad and Tinkerbella are coming out. Now this is when I started getting a little confused, but I hope we get some of the fights explained later on. And Santana was like, I don't really think the audience is here for them because they wasn't making a lot of noise. And then when Slim and Tinkerbella came out, Tinkerbella was like, y'all not making enough noise for me. For real, though, because I thought y'all said this was a fan favorite. Mind you, on the sideline, you see Tommy attacking Bobby again, punching this nigga again. But then Tinkerbella tells Meatball to get up, like square up. First round goes to Tink. She was doing more punching and connecting. Meatball was doing a lot of like grabbing. Then Tinkerbella comes throwing this bottle of water, but she misses Meatball with the bottle of water. It looked like the water hit Janisha. Now it's water all over the floor. Sapphire trying to pull the damn rug off the floor. So now they square up for round 2. Round 2 was more even because they both looked like they was doing a lot of like grabbing and holding. But right at the end of the round, Tinkerbella looked like she might have got one hit on the top of Meatball head and one like uppercut. So I'm going to still give her the slight edge on that second round. Tinkerbella looking crazy as always, no makeup on, so you know what the skin is giving. She coming out her shirt, talking about she want to fight again. Scotty and them like, all right, Tink, that's enough. You know, Scotty like, I'm not going to keep watching y'all fight. At the end of the day, these girls are supposed to be real friends. So y'all done fought 2 or 3 times already. How many more times y'all going to fight? And Tinkerbella told Scotty, oh, well, y'all watch that bitch hate on me. Y'all watch her be mad about a chain so y'all could watch us fight. Then out of nowhere, Slim pipes up and she's like, "Oh, I want to fight you." Now, the only time I remember Meatball and Slim getting into it was when it was time for Slim to go home, and they was asking who voted for her and Dia, and Meatball stepped up and said that she voted for Slim, and Slim was like, "Oh yeah, I want to fight you," and then Meatball didn't really want to fight. So I'm like, "Are you still holding on to that?" Like, the fight with Meatball and Slim really wasn't about nothing. Slim was trying to swing. She wasn't connecting. And she was pulling Meatball braids. Meatball was swinging a lot on that round, but a lot of her shit wasn't really connecting. It was kind of sloppy. But if I have to pick a winner for that one, I'm going to give it to Meatball. And Santana was like, "I'm living for Meatball," because at the end of the day, she running mad fades right now, and everybody against Meatball. Like, it's everybody versus Meatball. Now Jayla stepping up. She want to fight Meatball. I thought the whole season y'all was cool. You was trying to treat Meatball like your little sister, how you did Krishan on Baddie South. What happened? You was trying to help this girl, kept having conversations with her on the side, telling her not to crash out. Now you come to the reunion and you want to fight her too. But she said that Meatball was talking about her online, so I guess we'll hear more about that on part 2. So while Jayla and Meatball squaring up, Tommy like, "Hold on, we gonna do a tap in. If Meatball get tired, then we could tag the sister in." Talk about Tinkerbella. And Tinkerbella like, "Stop playing with me. I don't fuck with this bitch no more." Like, Tommy is bugged. So then Jayla walks away. Tinkerbella walks back up to Meatball and she's like, "Oh, you said it's not over the chain, so what is over?" And Meatball was like, "It's over you making me feel some type of way." Which, like I already said, Meatball was fucked up about the chain, but Tinkerbella was fucked up about how she been treating her on this season. You was sleeping in the same bed with Slim instead of sleeping in a room with 2 beds that Meatball offered you. Why you want to sleep in the same bed with a bitch you don't know? I really think Slim and Tinkerbella is doing some licky licky. I'm telling you. I swear to God. That's what I think. Because that would never make sense to me. My friend that I knew from Philly, we come into the show together. It's a room with 2 beds. And my friend like, "Yeah, let's go in this room so we could both have a bed and be in our own room. But I'm going to go in the room with 1 bed with some girl I just met and sleep in the same bed as her while the whole time we in this island." That shit don't make no sense. So Tinkerbella was like, "Oh, what did I do to you, Deja? What did I do to you?" So they start fighting again. That last round went to Meatball for sure. She got Tinkerbella down on that couch and started punching that head in. Now, I will say, before Meatball got her down on the couch, Tinkerbella was trying to hit her with some more uppercuts. So they was having good fights. But so next week, Jayla is going to explain her beef with Meatball. That's when Meatball is going to give Jayla that kick. We're going to see Meatball and Tinkerbella go at it some more, which is when Meatball is going to start hitting Tink with the chair. Santana said somebody was having a seizure. It looked like Tinkerbella, but I don't think she was actually having a seizure. Maybe she just was tired and had to get carried out. Now, they showing a lot of this as if it's going to be on the next part. So I don't know if this is going to be 2 parts, 3 parts, 4 parts, but we'll see. So Diamond comes out in her pink suit talking about what we doing, line it up. And Tasiki like, "Yeah, we need to run it." Diamond did not come out with that sweatsuit. She came out with this whole pink, cute get up. So I think Tasiki went a little easy on her because she clearly didn't want to fight. When Tasiki was running up on her, we saw she was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa." But clearly even Tasiki going easy on her wasn't that damn easy on her. Then we see Tommy confront Rolly, say that she had a lot to say about her on the internet. And Rolly was like, "Tommy, you be saying a lot about all of us on the internet, taking out your anger for Natalie on all of us." And Tommy was like, "No, I'm not no internet bitch, blah, blah, blah." So then we see Anna and Nunu come out. Anna looked scared. She did not want to face Nunu all season, and she knew she couldn't run from it no more. She looked scared, and we do see that she wrapped that chain around her hand to fight Nunu. Girl, you did not want to get in the paint, and you had to use a weapon. You're pussy. We knew it. And then we also got what looks like Jayla versus Callie and Gretch next week. So I will see y'all next week for episode 2 of the Baddies Caribbean Reunion, and I will see y'all a little later today for episode 5 of Jocelyn's Cabaret, Texas. Bye.